And also we respectfully ask that all questions are in English. Rob, we're going away with yourself.
Thomas, lovely to see you.
Same. Good morning.
We've all been fascinated for this because this is the first big thing you've had to do, it feels like, in the job, and we were hoping it would give us some clues about the type of England manager you might want to be. And the first thing you've done is brought a couple of very familiar faces back in Marcus Rashford and Jordan Henderson, who will both get the headlines. Why have you picked them, and are they realistic contenders for the World Cup?
Yes, of course. Everyone who's with us on this journey in the first camp is a contender for the World Cup. He is like already part. Every player is a part in the first step. At the same time, it's only the first step. So the nomination is not the nomination for America. We had some tough decisions to take, and we didn't make it easy for ourselves. So we had long discussions in the last days. We waited very long until Champions League games were over. Until we took our last decisions, and it is important to be in the first camp. If you are in the first camp, you are in the first step of the journey, and every journey starts with the first step, so yes. Why Jordan? I think this is a pretty easy one. Jordan is first of all a serial winner. He is he's captain of Ajax at the moment. He's available. He played a lot of matches until yesterday. He played in the European Cup. And what he brings to every team is leadership, is character, personality, energy. He makes sure that everyone lives by the standards, and And with this characteristic, he embodies everything what we try to build. We try to build a team for our fans. We try to build a team that our fans are proud of, they can identify with, and is hopefully an exciting watch on the way. And Jordan brings everything. He embodies everything what we want from this team to be. With Marcus, is already also a familiar face, like you say it, back in the team, but it's a bit a different situation. I felt that Marcus had a huge impact in Aston Villa since he changed to Aston Villa. He made a huge impact from the bench, mostly from the bench. Lately he got, I think, 2 matches from the start in Champions League. The impact was impressive. The physical impact was impressive, and most importantly, the impact against the ball, his work rate, his defensive impact, his hard work in counter-pressing, his tracking back on his position was impressive. And I had the strong feeling that we should nominate him, we should bring him in, to push him to stay on that level, to not fall back in old routines. It was very impressive, and this camp is to bond with him, of course, to get to know him and push him to stay on that exactly that level.
Thank you. At the other end of the kind of age and experience spectrum, if you like, is Miles Lewis-Skelly.
Yeah.
A lot of people have really enjoyed watching him this season. It feels like a huge breakthrough season for him.
Yeah, me too.
And he's a midfielder by trade, who's kind of seems like a specialist left back now, and England have had a lot of problems at left back.
Yeah,
could he make that position his own for years to come?
With injuries, with the injuries lately, and the latest injury, of course, from Lewis Hall, we ran out a little bit of left footers who can play left back. So we were always impressed with Miles since he started. He became so quick, regular player for Arsenal, second best team in the country at the moment, quarter-finalist in Champions League. So huge concurrence in his club, and he still, Mikel Arteta picks him regularly. So this was very impressive from the very start. I can understand that if it feels a little bit like we fast forward a career that is already on fast pace. I can assure you that the talks in the last days and weeks had a kind of a parental vibe, a bit of a protective vibe, to even feel like maybe we should not nominate him, to protect him a little bit, and to not skip under 21s, to let him go to the under 21s, breathe a little bit out of the spotlight. Is this maybe even our responsibility to not take him? But in the end, with injuries and with the quality and the maturity that he showed in the matches, we decided to take him. And then we come back also to the likes of Jordan Henderson. I think if we have young exciting players and talents like Miles in our squad, it is even more important that he has the guidance and the role model and players like Jordan Henderson at his side who take care of him.
Thanks, Rob.
Thank you.
Dan Rowan?
Thank you. Thomas, Dan Rowan, BBC. When you look at the recall of Henderson and the selection of Dan Burn, for example, is it a reflection of the fact that this squad, from your perspective, is about winning and winning now, and there's less emphasis than there has been in the past on the development of younger players?
I truly believe these two things have to be combined, and I think I truly believe that Dan Burn and Jordan Henderson have every chance to be with us in the World Cup. Football in general, but maybe even more international football is about team spirit. It is about building a team that loves to play with each other, that transports the spirit to the fans, to the nation, to the country. And it is about building a brotherhood. So we cannot only do it with young players, and we cannot only do it with only experienced players. It has to be a good balance. It has to be a good mix, in my opinion. And that's what we're trying to do. But without doubt, players like Dan Burn, like Jordan Henderson, bring something on a very natural, genuine basis to a group from leadership and from devotion and from being humble and from setting the standards and taking care about the respect in the group, taking care about the language in a group. Yeah, I was surprised that Dan was never called up, but yeah, he's such a tall guy, but obviously it's easy to overlook him. It almost happened to me, and I can just tell you to these two phone calls, if you see the reaction from Jordan, this natural reaction when he was called up, and this natural reaction from Dan Burn, you instantly know that you picked the right guys.
You've had an early taste of the scrutiny that accompanies this role with the questioning of the working arrangements that the FA have granted you in the early weeks of your tenure, the fact that you appear to have missed some Premier League weekends when going back to Germany. What did you make of that scrutiny? What would you say about it, and will it continue?
I think you confused the time a little bit between October and January, because I was many times in Germany and enjoyed my time off because I was not on the job. Since I'm actually on the job, I am based in London. I spent many days regularly in St. George's Park. We watched, I think, almost 25 matches live, to see every player live at least once in the stadium, so it was a lot of traveling. And yes, you're right, from time to time I was in Germany to see my children, but the majority of the time I was here in London, so I don't really get the point of the story.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mareike Arden, ARD, Germany's first channel.
Yeah.
I understand I'm asking the question, obviously, in English. Your goal, obviously, is to bring it home, and I was wondering what you've learned since January, what can help you on that mission. And I'm just saying, if you would do it in English and in German, I would waive my second question. Okay.
English.
I would like to do it just in English, out of respect, where we are and for all the others. What did I learn about I'm very happy. Like every day, I'm more happy that I took the decision and I was given the chance to be in charge of the England squad. I love to be close to the players. I love the character of the players, the intensity of Premier League and, of course, international football, and the way they compete and the way they are. I think we had a good start together now, especially me and the federation, of course, but also with the staff and the players. We established a line of communication as far as it was possible. It's never the same like in club football. The differences are obvious, and that's why we're already also very excited to be finally on the pitch on Monday, to finally feel the players and hug the players and push the players on the training pitch, and this will make a huge difference.
And there seems to be quite a lot of surprise in the British media and the English media concerning the squad. Are you surprised by that reaction?
No, I would be surprised if there was not a surprise in the debate. I think it comes with the job. We have, I guess you would have loved to be in our meetings room in the last days. And like I said, we had emotional debates and we had intense debates. And there are some very hard decisions, and some are more obvious and some are maybe a little bit more hidden, but there are some very, very close decisions, and there are some players not in the squad who absolutely did enough and deserved to be in the squad. But it comes with a job, and it comes with a job that everyone talks about it and everyone has a strong opinion about it. It's fair enough.
Thank you. If you pass the microphone behind.
Geraint Vincent, ITV News. You mentioned that you rang Jordan Henderson to tell him that you'd picked him. When you said, "Hi, it's Thomas Tuchel," what did he say?
Hi, I'm Jordan. No, we had this phone call that you're talking about. We had this weeks ago, where I just wanted to check in, introduce myself, and see how he is and see how he feels about this idea, and if he's even ready, or if it was too painful how it ended and not being in the squad and whatever. So this phone call we had, and it was a video call, because at least you can see reactions. And so.
Was he surprised?
No, he appreciated it. I mean, I did not call him with unknown number. I texted him before, so he knew that the call is coming, and we arranged a time. For me, it was just so nice to see, like yesterday when I called him, like his genuine reaction to it, and you could just feel like a serial winner with over 80 caps, I think, and just the pure joy and how humble he takes this decision and how happy he is to come back on Monday. Then it was very, very impressive.
It's James Ollie next to you.
Oh, sorry, mate.
Hi, Thomas. Have you decided who your captain will be?
Well, it's easy. There's a decision is made and decision stands. Harry's the captain.
And just on Ben White,
yeah.
Did you try to call him up? Did he refuse to call up? What's the state of play there?
Absolutely not. He loves to be back in the squad. I just think it's a bit too early now from him, given the seriousness of the injury that he had. I'm delighted that he's back. He's back now in back-to-back trainings. So we were monitoring the process, and a huge compliment to the medical and performance department of the FA, and thanks to everyone at Arsenal to let us monitor closely. So we're on it. I was speaking to him, was speaking to Ben, that we're delighted that he's back on the bench. He had a Champions League match now in the second leg, and I think now it's just a question about getting more minutes, getting more rhythm, and then he has every chance to be back, and he wants to be back, is glad to be back.
Two on the front row, in front of you, James. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Marlene Jakobsen from ZDF, another German public broadcaster.
Yeah.
What kind of qualities do you think you can bring to the team that it doesn't have yet, and what kind of playing style are you hoping to establish?
My qualities, I can just bring myself. I have nothing else to add. I bring my devotion and my emotion and my joy and passion for football and for the job, and I hope the players will feel my love for where I am and what I do. And hopefully this can come across. And the second question was? The
playing style. What playing style can we expect?
I see it needs to reflect the Premier League. The Premier League is a very physical league, is a very physical demanding league, is a very direct league. I think we should be brave enough to play like an England squad and should not try to copy other nations, other styles too much. I think it should reflect the values of the country and of the strongest league in the world, which is the Premier League. So we will try to implement a direct style, an attacking style, and we will try to increase our rhythm in our game, increase the intensity in our game, and we will try to do it, of course, in a crash course from Monday, and unleash the potential for Friday.
And what's it like to be head coach of an English team as a German?
exciting and a bit surreal, and it's a big honor, and I'm very proud of it, and I'm very well aware of it, that it's a special honor to have the chance to coach this team as a foreign coach, and I'm very well aware of it, and I will make sure that I earn my right to be in this place.
Hi, Thomas. In terms of Miles Lewis-Skelly, obviously he's the youngster of the group. We've seen his ability on the pitch, but in terms of the maturity, what did you see that made you feel he'd be able to handle the pressure of the senior squad?
If you handle the pressure to be picked constantly at Arsenal, you can handle the pressure. It's as easy as that. He has so much concurrence, and he makes himself available. He is picked. It's very impressive, and I think he proves the point on a weekly basis. He is available 3 times a week in one of the best teams in Europe, so he can handle the heat.
And you said Harry Kane is going to be your captain, but if there's an injury to Harry, are you looking at which other squad members are you looking at to kind of take on that leadership role?
I'm not so sure if I'm ready to debate this in public. It's a very good question, and I have a clear idea about it, but I think the players deserve to know first, and then I will let you know.
Thank you.
This side, Alex.
Hi, Thomas. You've mentioned a couple of times about the physicality of the English league and the players and the style. So do you think that's what's been missing to get England over the line, really imposing a style that the team has?
No, I think not a lot is missing. I was just asked about the style, but I don't think that a lot is missing. It's obviously it's missing a little bit because we are now consecutive in semi-finals, in finals, and the feeling is that it's just a little step to bring it over the line. I am very convinced that if we want to be prepared to be in the next final and to make the last step, we need to do it now in the first camp. As boring as it may sound for you, if you go on a journey, it starts with the first step. This journey starts clearly with the first camp. We only have 6 camps. We only have 60 days. We need to take care of every single day and make sure that we are on point. And if we do this, hopefully the last step takes care of itself. We need a bit of luck. We need the momentum. We cannot plan to win the World Cup if it's not possible. And I am the first one who does not like that, but it is like this. So we will make sure. Playing style is just one piece of the puzzle, and it has to suit the players. It has to suit the values of the league, where the majority they play in, and this is what we will try to do.
You've also mentioned spirit and brotherhood as your first international job. Are you going to try and give this England team a club feel?
Yeah, I think yes, this is what we try to do. We will inject a little bit of club football into federation football and international football. Maybe starts with the language. It starts maybe with the coaching. So yeah, we are used to that, and we will try to do it. And I think we need to increase the rhythm and intensity of our game compared to our last matches. This is where the focus is, and then hopefully it's an exciting watch, and we will have the effect that we wish for.
Hi, Thomas. Henry Winter, World Soccer. We've seen your tactical adaptability at the clubs that you've worked with. The majority of your squad in this squad play 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1. Are you going to sort of stick with the back four that they're most comfortable with, or will you vary it according to the opposition?
I think we have all the options. We called up 9 defenders to have a little bit the options to get also know 2 players that we don't know so well personally and see how they adapt. I don't want to give it away right now if we play with a back 4 and a back 5 and keep this advantage and information also for us regarding the respect that we have towards Albania and Latvia, our 2 qualification matches. I think we have a lot of options. We chose some players because they are able to play on more than just one position. They can play maybe on a wing or maybe on a half position. They can play maybe wing back or maybe even full back. They can play central defender or in a back 3. I think that the challenge is to then combine all these different ideas, because they come from so many different clubs, into one idea, And maybe more than ever, it's important that less is more. So we will not invent football new in the 4 days that we have before the first match. We will have maybe only 3 training sessions. So it will be a lot on the video. It will be, of course, also on the pitch. And then we need to find a structure, an identity that suits everyone, that everyone understands quickly, and gives also everyone the freedom to express himself and to show his talent.
How do you impose a Premier League physical style, as you call it, on the climatic conditions you're likely to get in America?
Can we cross that bridge when we are at the river? Yeah, but it is already now in our discussions and in our thoughts what happens in different climatic conditions, and the conditions will be very, very challenging. But on Friday and Monday we will be fine. Yeah.
Rob Harris.
Hi, Thomas. Rob Harris from Sky News. With your decision to keep Kane as captain, to bring back Henderson and Rashford, is this a sign of continuity rather than being too revolutionary?
Let's see. I'm not sure. It's a sign. I think what we are looking for and on the values, how we want to build a squad, and what we think you have to bring to the table to be picked. There are different types of, I think, different categories of being picked. You can be picked on form, on availability, on responsibility, on leadership, on personality. You may be picked because someone else gets injured. There are different reasons, but in the end, it is about building a strong group. Like I said, building a strong group, and in the end, the question is what you bring besides your talent, besides you being a top professional, because this is in the end a given. What you bring to this group to make us better as a team, and this is the key question.
And how have you found these first few months yourself? Obviously not coaching week by week, instead of having to just watch a lot of matches, whether on television or in the stadiums, going around assessing players, going so long without a match. How are you finding the job? How are you finding going around the country? Are you getting reaction from fans?
Difficult. I miss the pitch. I miss the smell of the grass. I miss the contact to the players. I miss the dressing room, the humor, the laughing in the dressing room, the emotions, and of course also the rhythm. On the other side, it was much more intense than I thought. I learned already a lot. I feel the support of the federation. I feel the quality and the structure of the federation to make me a better coach. And this was the experience I was looking for. It was the experience I was excited for. So everything is fine. And the cherry on top comes now when the players come into camp and we're finally back on the pitch.
Good luck.
Okay,
Thanks.
We've got time for a couple more. Can we ask it one question per person now if we go? Thank you.
Hi, Thomas. Davide Chinellato with Gazzetta in Italy. You mentioned the importance of building the group, of building a spirit. It's easy to do, obviously, when you have the players at your disposal, like next week. But how are you going to do it when you're not with the player? How are you going to implement the values of England you want to implement?
We will need to learn how we do it. I don't have a clear answer on that, but it's a very good question because I think it will be very important. If we only focus on the 6 camps, if we only focus on the 60 days, it will not be enough, I guess. So we will start now, of course, with the first camp, and then it will be our job, my responsibility to keep the connection to the players that we establish now. We have already done it, and it will be easier after we met in person and after we have this first experience and matches together. So it will be my responsibility, and it will be then the responsibility of the players to stay together, stay in touch, and take care of the values and that we implement from now on.
Okay, 2 behind you.
Hi, Thomas. Philip Dietlefs, German press agency. Prince William has said you're exactly the right person for this job and that he trusts you to win the title. What does this royal praise mean to you?
It makes me very proud.
Does it also put pressure on you?
Yeah, of course, but the pressure comes with a job, and the pressure is a privilege to be in this role. I met His Royal Highness once during a match, and then we had another meeting in Windsor Castle, and it was just nothing but impressive, the way he speaks and the way how he needed, because we admire them a lot, and we admire a lot what is happening there in the club. But it means a lot, and it's just like something very, very special that comes with a role, and it's an honor and a privilege, and comes with big responsibility.
Hi Thomas, Sven Heiss from Süddeutsche Zeitung, Germany's leading daily broadsheet. I think for the very first time in your coaching career, you're without German assistants. I think you've always been with Arno Michels and recently also with Scholt Löw. Why did you pick a completely new coaching team?
It was part of this decision, and it was, you're right, it was like also tough decisions, but I felt that I needed a change, the change not only from club football into international football, but a change in the closest environment. I was blessed until now with all my assistant coaches. It was an honor and a pleasure to work with all of them. They were like, especially the two guys that you mentioned were with me for 15 years. So it was very, very hard to take this decision. But deep inside of me, I felt that I need an update for myself. I need change to grow, and change of environment, change of the challenge, and also then the change of my closest coaching staff. It is a huge privilege to have such good coaches around me on my way. Everyone who knows me knows that this is not a one-man show. I will never see it as a one-man show. Okay, it's my face in the press conferences. It's my face on the sideline. I take the heat, and this is not a problem. But I know very, very clearly that this is a team effort, and coaching teams on these kind of levels needs the strongest team. So I am glad that I had friends at my side who are such top coaches. I am now glad that I have friends at my side on which I can rely on. It makes a complete difference. I have now decided for a new coaching staff on absolutely highest level. Now that you mention it, it occurs also to me that there's no German assistant coach there, but nevertheless it's pure quality, and I can rely on them, and it gives me a lot of freedom and calmness to express myself, and I'm very grateful for that.
Okay, apologies to disappoint some of you, but this will be the last one.
Sven Töllner, Sky Germany. Thomas, massive expectations in England, and I'd say also in Germany. Everybody's got an opinion on what you do. How do you make sure that doesn't have an impact on the focus that you need to keep?
It's not easy, but I try to be offline when it comes to opinions and judgments about myself, about the squad, and about the work that we do. I put everything in that I have, together with my staff, together with a federation and the organization, and the quality of support that the federation gives us. And this is all we can do, and then we trust the process, and we trust our quality, and most of all we trust our players, that the result is visible in the end. And in between I just try to not read, to not get involved, and in too many opinions from outside.